Hello friends, once again welcome to Diksha Mission JRF. This is a 33rd day of Diksha Mission JRF. In the past almost 32 days we were discussing different topics from our NTA NET paper 1 syllabus. We have also given priority for questions, especially those of previous question papers. So in this video also we'll be continuing our discussion with the next set of question papers. Before that, I would like to say you something regarding Diksha broadcast. Diksha offers free broadcast services in which we offer various study materials, video links, strategies, syllabus analysis, model tests, previous question sets, etc. directly by sending to your WhatsApp. As of now, Diksha have broadcast for paper 1, psychology, commerce, social work and economics also. Economics we are starting from today. That's why in this video I am going to talk about broadcast. So all these broadcast services, once again, paper 1, psychology, commerce, social work and economics. All these broadcast services are entirely free. That means you will be receiving regular materials, strategies, syllabus analysis, question papers, etc. directly to your WhatsApp. Since it's a broadcast mechanism, remember you have to save the official Diksha phone number also. It will be sent from official Diksha phone number. There are different links. Okay, there are different links if you want to join each broadcast. Like if for economics you want to send join Diksha economics, for commerce join Diksha commerce, for psychology join Diksha psychology, and for social work join Diksha social work, etc. And you have to send all the your links from your WhatsApp, your request. If you would like to join the broadcast, send. If you want to join social work, send join Diksha social work to official number 7306 721 and 731. Okay, that's the number. The number is given in the YouTube description. For all the subject papers like social work, psychology, economics and commerce, we are hopefully planning to start in other subject also. For all the subject papers, you want to send your request with your subject join economics to 7306721731. Number is given in the YouTube description. And for joining paper 1 broadcast, you want to send join Diksha paper 1 preparation to 9847478690. So all the links, format and phone numbers regarding joining Diksha WhatsApp broadcast list is given in the description. And remember, from today onwards we are going to start economics broadcast, in which we have a Diksha Mission 50, in which we will be sending you almost all, okay, in which we will be sending you almost all or almost 50 materials from economics on a daily basis, which will definitely help your paper 1 preparation. So make sure you join your respective broadcast if you are a commerce, a psychology, a social work or an economics student. But definitely in the future we'll be starting broadcast for other subjects also. At the same time, if you'd like to know more about Diksha online courses, you can visit our website www.dikshaclassroom.com, in which we discuss, we have given the details regarding different courses. And also don't forget regarding your task number 33, the next set of question papers. Question paper is available. Question paper will be provided in the YouTube description, and answer key for yesterday's task number 32 is also provided in the YouTube description. Remember, if you want to receive the question paper, YouTube description, everything directly to your WhatsApp, you can join our paper on WhatsApp broadcast that we have already discussed before. And also once again, make sure you go all set of the latest 2019 December question papers. All these sets have been also released in Diksha YouTube channel. Okay, that is Diksha Classroom YouTube channel. You can go to the playlist, December 2019 question papers playlist, and you can get all the 10 shifts of question papers as YouTube videos with the answer key. So that's all about regarding our YouTube channel and question paper from latest exams, etc. Make sure you go through all those question papers. Most of the question papers of 2019 December has been also discussed in our YouTube channel. In this video also, we are continuing our discussion with the 2019 December shift question papers. And remember, you subscribe to this channel, you share with your friends regarding Diksha Classroom channel, and if you find any doubts, okay, regarding any of the questions we have already discussed, of any of the topic we have already discussed, you can put it in the comment section. Definitely we will be going through the comment section, and we will definitely reply to your queries in the maximum as earlier as possible. Okay, so that's all about regarding broadcast, ebook, etc. We will be going to this video. In this video also, we are continuing our discussion with 2019 December shift examination question papers. In this video, we are going to discuss 2019 December 6 afternoon shift, and we'll be discussing the questions from higher education system. Okay, one of the most important topic, higher education system. So friends, let's directly go to the questions. Okay, so friends, in this video we are discussing the 6th December 2019 afternoon shift question papers, and we'll be discussing the higher education system question. So let's discuss the questions one by one. Firstly, I will show you the questions. You want to give me the answers in the comment section. After that, we'll be discussing the question. So this is the first question. Question number 46. Which among the following is a massive open online course platform created by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India? It's a very easy question. The question is regarding, you want to select a massive open online course platform that have been created by the Ministry of Human Resource Development and Government of India. You can give me your answers in the comment section. Okay, so I'm not giving you much time because it's a very easy question, one of the easiest question in this whole set of question paper. So I hope many of you know the answer. The answer is Swayam. Okay, Swayam. You would have heard about Swayam already. It have been asked in a lot of previous question papers. I hope you know what is Swayam is all about. Swayam is India's national massive open online course platform, or we also say it as MOOC platform, designed to achieve the three cardinal principles of Indian education policy. And the aim was, again, very remember, Swayam basic objective previously asked in a different question papers is access, equity and quality. Access, equity and quality. Access, equity and quality is the important cardinal, or the three cardinal principles of Swayam, which have been already asked before. And okay, so it's very important regarding that one. The Swayam, the full form of Swayam is also important. We have discussed in different aspect in different question papers. So Swayam, the important cardinal principle, access and equity and quality, and the rest all are mainly NGO and other aspect. Pratham is an one of the largest NGO in India, founded by Madhav Chavan and Farida Lambert, towards aims at the quality education. Okay, Pratham works towards a quality education. And the Future Learn is a digital education platform, okay, founded in India. And Open Learn is an educational website. Okay, Open Learn is an educational website. So okay, Future Learn I think is not in India. It's a global aspect. It's a global level digital education platform. So both Future Learn and Open Learn are digital education platform throughout the world. And Pratham is an Indian NGO. Swayam is India's massive open online course. So that's all about this question. So we have answer B, Swayam as the correct answer. Moving to the second question. Which among the following is the statutory functions of UGC? So you want to give me the statutory function of UGC. The option are to appoint the teaching faculty in universities, to control the conduct of examination in universities, to determine and maintain the standard of teaching and research in universities, to develop curriculum for university course. It's also an easy question, a direct and an easy question. Okay, you can give me the answer in the comment section. Yeah, we'll be discussing something. It's an easy question. I think most of you have got the answer. It's all about, the question is all about UGC. Okay, you would have heard UGC is the statutory body, body established by, statutory bodies are those bodies which are established by a act. Okay, basically mostly it will be established by parliament. There may be some cases with regards to states also. So UGC is a statutory body established in 1956 as per the recommendation of the first Education Commission, or the Radhakrishnan Commission, and UGC University Grant Commission was established in similar line to that of University Grants Committee that was prevalent in Britain during that time. So as per, based on that one, India established UGC. Okay, UGC was established. It was under the platform or control of Ministry of Human Resource and Development. Okay, UGC comes under Ministry of Human Resource and Development under the central government, and the basic aim behind the establishment of UGC is to determine and maintain the standards of teaching and research in universities. Okay, the basic aim behind the establishment is to maintain the standard of teaching and also research in universities. That's the reason why UGC decides upon the syllabus for NTA, and NTA conducts exam for them. UGC grants the scholarship. JRF is, or the junior research fellowship, is being provided by UGC. Rest all, okay, every aspect related to the higher education system, research in India, etc., are being controlled by UGC, especially with regards to humanities, social science, computer science, etc. Okay, so to appoint teaching faculty universities is not a function of UGC. Respective universities or colleges will appoint that. To control and conduct the examination of universities is not also the function of UGC. Respective universities will conduct that. To develop curriculum for university, also not a function of UGC. Definitely, UGC will give a broad lines, okay, general broad lines or a broad guidelines regarding the appointing of teaching faculty, control of the conduct of examination, also developing of curriculum. Broad guidelines will be provided by UGC, which has to be followed by a university in a flexible manner, and they are not under the direct control of UGC. Okay, so we can say the option C, which says that to determine and maintain the standard of teaching and research in universities, is the correct answer with regards to this question. That is option C. Moving to next question. Who among the following scholars carried back scriptures from Nalanda University and wrote about architecture and learning of this university? Okay, so it's regarding ancient Indian University Nalanda. You want to give me the answer. Okay, whether it's Kim Huang, Lin Tan Yang, Xuanzang, and Jin Haman, which among the following carried back scriptures from the Nalanda University? Okay, you have the option Kim Huang, Lin Tan Zhang, Yuan Zhang, and Yun Ha Men. Okay, it's also a direct question. If you have the factual knowledge regarding the higher education system in India, ancient universities, and the various foreigners visited in universities, you will be having a knowledge of this particular question. And we'll discuss the question. If you want more time to answer the question, you can post the video. Okay, that facility will be available. And when we study regarding the ancient Indian universities, we can say that it was very famous throughout the world, and the profound knowledge of Nalanda's teachers attracted scholars from very distant places like China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Mongolia, Turkey, Southeast Asia, etc. Okay, and when these scholars visited Nalanda University, they have left records about the ambience, architecture and learning at this special or unique university. And the most detailed accounts regarding Nalanda University have come from Chinese scholars. Okay, we can see from Chinese scholars, and out of the Chinese scholar, the most famous regarding Nalanda University was one of the most famous was Xuanzang. Okay, Yuan Sang was one of the most famous Chinese scholar who visited Nalanda University during that time or during his time, and wrote a lot of accounts regarding Nalanda University and carried back scriptures from Nalanda University. And even Indians get many details regarding Nalanda University from Yuan Zhang's writings. So we have the option C, Yuan Zhang, the correct answer for this question. Moving to next question, 49th question. Which among the following committees recommended the establishment of state council for higher education in each state? So that's the question. You want to give me the answer regarding which among the following policies or which among the following committee recommended the establishment of state council for higher education in each states? Okay, I will give you some time. Try to answer the question. Okay, that's a question regarding the from the topic evolution of higher education and research in post-independent India, which is an important topic that comes under higher education system. Okay, so we'll be discussing the question. It was a question, as I already told, regarding the evolution of higher education. And in evolution of higher education in post-independent India, you have to study regarding different commissions, committees like Radhakrishnan Committee, then Mudaliar Committee, then Higher Secondary Commission, then Kotaria Commission, and different commission you have to study. Also, you have to study regarding different national policies of education, especially three national policies of education is also have to be studied in detail regarding the evolution of higher education. So this particular, and you have to study the recommendation of these different committees. Okay, the Dr. Radhakrishnan Committee recommendation, then Mudaliar Committee recommendation, Kothariar Committee recommendation, then different such committee recommendation you have to study. And out of this recommendation, we can say the National Policy of Education, NPE, in three different versions. And this particular recommendation, that is the establishment of State Council for Higher Education in each state, has been given by National Policy on Education. Okay, so National Policy on Education of 1986 has given the recommendation regarding the establishment of State Council for Higher Education. Again, it's a factual aspect, and question number option C for National Policy on Education of 1986 is the correct answer. So moving to the last question from this set, the National Skills Qualification Framework, or NSQF. Okay, National Skill Qualification Framework, or NSQF, is based on which of the following? So you want to give me the answer. NSQF is based on which of the following? So you have the option as competency, technology, economic development, and evaluation. Competency, technology, economic development, and evaluation. Okay, this is the last question from higher education set of 2019 December 6th afternoon shift. Okay, give me your answer in the comment section. Okay, so that's all about. We'll be discussing the answer. If you want more time, you can pause the video. So this National Skills Qualification Framework is a, or NSQF is a competency based framework. It's a competency based framework that organizes all qualifications according to a series of levels of knowledge, skills, and aptitude. So this competency based mechanism or the framework organizes all qualification based on the level of knowledge, based on the level of knowledge, skills, and aptitude. Okay, based on these three aspects, national skill qualification framework categorizes the qualification or organizes the qualification. So since it's all about competency mechanism, we have option A, competency, as the correct answer. Okay, so for this particular question 50, that is a national skill qualification framework is based on which of the following? We have the answer competency. That's the correct answer. Okay, option A, competency, is the correct answer. So that's all about this set of questions from higher education. So friends, that's all about this video discussing higher education system questions from 2019 December 6th afternoon shift. If you have any doubts regarding any of the questions so far discussed, you can put it in the comment section. We will try to answer your queries. At the same time, make sure you subscribe to this channel, you share with your friends, you join our WhatsApp broadcast, you visit our website www.dikshaclassroom.com. So that's all about this video. We'll be discussing more regarding different topics coming under Diksha or UGC NTA NET paper 1 syllabus in the coming days. Thank you.